We're all gathered here today to witness the union of Bill and Maria. There comes a time in one's life when they meet that special someone, their soulmate, the one person that's going to love them for the rest of their days. For Bill, that time happened about 15 years ago when he met me. Let me introduce myself for those of y'all that don't know me. I'm Jamal. Bill and I met in the Army over 15 years ago. Bill helped me so much to make a career out of the military. His guidance in navigating all the stupidity the Army has to offer has been invaluable. Since we met, Bill has been my best friend, and I would do anything for him. Well, almost anything. 3 months ago, I was honored when Bill asked me to be his best man. Planning a bachelor party? Oh, I'm all over that. An excuse to interview strippers? Let the recruiting begin. But I soon found out there's way more to being a best man than just planning said bachelor party. Bill made me go with him to pick out the rings. He dragged me down to the courthouse to get the marriage certificate. I had to keep in contact with all the groomsmen. I even had to keep a few of these knuckle draggers from getting arrested at said bachelor party. I also got to keep this stack of envelopes safe. They contain payments to all the vendors so that we can have this shindig. When Bill asked me to deliver a speech at his wedding, I wanted to refuse. I have crippling anxiety, and speaking in front of a crowd is petrifying to me. Just writing anything is already painfully frustrating. So when it came to writing this speech, I could get like 3 sentences down on paper, and then I just run out of words. At this point, I'd end up chain smoking and pacing in my living room. There's an oval worn in the carpet around my coffee table, and it took me like 3 packs of cigarettes just to get this far. It's a huge flaw I'm still working on conquering. 5 minutes before it was time to get up here, my body temperature rose like 50 degrees, my palms are sweaty, and my mouth is as dry as a desert. My imagination started running wild thinking about the whole crowd laughing at me and not with me. About a month ago, I had a decision to make. I could work on this speech, or I could bail on Bill. I could call Bill up and tell him I just can't do this speech. And I started to. I picked up the phone and rang Bill up. But he answered on the first ring and could sense the hesitation in my voice almost immediately. All I could think about was the look on Bill's face when he first asked me to be his best man. It melted my heart. He had these giant puppy dog eyes I just couldn't say no to. I couldn't live with myself if I let Bill down. I told Bill I accidentally pocket dialed him and quickly hung up the phone. So after 2 weeks, and still not being able to figure out what I was going to say here tonight, I looked to where all millennials turn to find the answers to humanity's greatest problems. I Googled that shit. The third result was a website with 4 steps to getting over anxiety. Step 1, identify the problem. Well, I'm a defective human who needs adult supervision at all times. Check. Step 2, define the scope. The scope was to express to my friend Bill how happy I am to see him here with Maria. A woman that treats Bill better than any lady I've ever seen treat a man. The way Bill's face lights up when he talks about Maria shows how much he really cherishes her. Bill will move heaven and earth to make her happy. Step 3, make a plan. A better plan than smoking 1 million cigarettes and pacing in my living room until I run out of time. I figured it would take a bottle of liquid courage for me to actually get started with this, so I poured another drink and peeked at the last step. Step 4, take the first step. Alright, so after a bottle of scotch, I started thinking about how I try my best to be social. I make all these plans with friends and hope that they call and cancel. And then I spend too much time overthinking about the things that I'm missing out on. Delivering this speech isn't going to be one of those things that I'm going to sit around wishing that I had done. So I took the first step. I thought about how Maria had treated Bill all these years. Watching them together makes me believe that love is worth persevering for, through all of his challenges, through family illnesses and long-distance relationships, and through the multiple rejections that Maria gave Bill in the beginning. So it's without further ado that I'd like to propose a toast. To Bill and Maria. The man doesn't have to be perfect, and the woman doesn't have to be perfect, as long as they are perfect together.